interactive as possible? Come on, I need some answers. Rotors, okay. And power supply and knowledge. Okay, I have reasonable answers, but the girls are very quiet. Later, maybe later. Okay. See, what works behind this is pure physics. Okay, whatever stuff you are learning in school, that is the sole thing that has been used here to make this work. Okay, what class do you belong in? 11. Yes? You know all free body diagrams and stuff and all those things. Newton's third laws, the second law, the first laws. Yes? Yes. Using those alone, along with some programming, which some other person can also do for you, you can make this possible. You can make anything that you think is possible. Okay? So, continuing with the presentation, let me press F5 over here. You know what that does, right? Okay, welcome, see you. Yeah. Well, you have seen the first slide as always. So, what is a quadcopter? Here is a boring description of what is a quadcopter. But you know, it has 4 propellers, yes, a power source, and some microchips that does some things. Yes? Well, you know anyways. Okay. Next. Now you see, they are very versatile. They can be of any size. Just see, palm of hand. Yes? As big as they can carry some things. Okay, that gets covered. Next. So, thermodynamics. I hope you all have studied it in chemistry, right? I mean, you people have some idea about it. It is in your syllabus and stuff, right? Yes? Even if you don't, I mean, at least you know the name, right, of the topics. Okay. So, I am here to tell now degrees of motion. Okay? The number of independent motions a system makes constitutes its degree of freedom, 1 degree of freedom. And any other numbers of motion it makes, it only adds into the degree of motion, right? Suppose a single particle is there. Now it can move x, y, z, right? In axis, x, y, z axis. Yes? So that accounts for 3 degrees. Now it can also rotate along 3 axes. That makes 6 degrees of freedom. Yes? 6 degrees of freedom. Do you understand what I am trying to say here? No? Okay. This is a dot. Particle. What did I press here? Oh man, the stupid things. This is a dot. Yes? Consider it a particle. Now, when we consider its motion, it can go in x, in y. Yes? And you all know that screw rule where the z axis is. Yes? So this is some z axis. So it can move in x direction, y direction, and z direction, right? That accounts for 3 degrees of freedom because it can move across 3 degrees, 3 axes, right? 3 independent motions. Yes? And now, the particle will also have an axis along those 3 degrees in which it can rotate. So now it accounts for 6 degrees of freedom, 6 distinct degrees of freedom, right? Now we need all the 6 information so that we can account for the motion of that particle. Yes? Now you understand? Yes. Yes. Now, suppose we have 2 particles. Huh? We have an x, y, and z axis. We also have rotation about this. Okay? Now, additional is, what additional motion we have here is the vibrational motion around these. Their relative positions are changing. Yes? Their relative distances are changing. So that accounts for a new degree of freedom, along with some other degrees also, like rotation along this, rotation along this. Yes? Yes. So that is what we say degree of freedom. Now, okay, now we see the degrees of freedom over here. See, there are, I guess, three. I'll show you the picture. Let me explain you. Your motion first. Your motion is when we rotate it along this axis. This, like this. It rotates. That accounts for the yaw motion. Okay? Then we have pitch and roll. Pitch and roll are very relative things. I mean, they are the same, but just we call it with different names because they are different degrees of freedom. So, what pitch is that it moves front and back. Yes? The quadcopter always moves front and back, right? And always, also it will move sideways. Yes? Yes. So, the front and back motion is called the pitch, and the sideways motion is called the roll. That is what is the degree of freedom for this quadcopter, which is essential to our study. Next, see, now we are here in the physics part of the quadcopter. How does this quadcopter fly, or how does it make the motion that we want it to make? See, free body diagram, yes? Free body diagrams? Oh. So we have free body diagram. Now we need two of them because, you know, in a rotational, when we see a system under the microscope of rotational dynamics, we have to take the two over here. So now you see that, so to tilt this, I mean, when they are all rotating at the same speed, they will all be flat, right? At level, each of the rotors will be at the same level, right? So, to tilt this, we can do two things. Okay, two things. Either we can speed up this or slow down this one. As you said, somebody very nice. Okay. Now, you see the free body diagram, you know how it works. It pushes air downwards, so it will get an upward thrust, right? Yes? It will get an upward thrust. Please be very interactive. You want to ask questions, you can always ask it later, but now you have to coordinate with me and let me know that you know. Okay? So it creates in perpendicular directions to, what do we say this? Components. Yes, components. So there is a forward component and there is a left component. So this is there is some forward component that will help it move forward, and so is for the roll also. Okay. The motion of the quadcopter is accounted for now. Yes. Do you understand the motion of quadcopter? I want to answer, please. No. Okay. Again. To tilt this, what we do, you know this? Okay. So, when the air is pushed diagonally, it will have this component and this component, this component. Huh? So when we have this component, it will automatically accelerate towards this direction. That is what I'm trying to explain. Now you get it? Backside. Oh, that is nice. Nice to Mike and Beach. Same thing. A little different, diagram. Angular acceleration is this way, right? Works? Okay, advantages and disadvantages. So, what a quadcopter provides you that conventional methods won't. That is what is being summarized here. So, it provides more lift because automatically we have 4 rotors, so compared to 1 rotor you will have more lift. Yes, more capacity, and also it can also vertically take off and land. So aeroplane is like they have to rush, right, to take off. Yeah, but this can just take off like a helicopter. Yes. Now it can also hover. It doesn't need to move continuously to stay in the air, right? It can always keep its position locked, right? Also, we can use it in many ways, like we have surveillance and aerial photography, right? Also, you see the uses are here, right? We can use it in search and rescue. Cameras are there. You put thermal cameras, then you point out that where a human is located in some area that is not accessible, to say at the least. Good morning, sir. He is Ashutosh Bera, sir. He is here to represent Macro.
Enjoying this session? Yes, sir. I will show you practical demonstration, okay?
Do you want to continue? Do you want to continue with this? No. Okay. See, I like this. So you understand these 2 points? I mean, you understand them all, right? Up till here, right? Everyone? Yes, sir. Yes, like that. Slow flying capacity. Now it can hover, so it can also slowly fly too, right? That is implicit. Like I said, please live in the moment. Don't try to capture it. You will miss this. Okay. There are footage. You can always call someone and get it. Okay. So, and now disadvantages. Now, since it is very small, Mother Nature can be very rude. Yes? Tornadoes and whatever not they are coming always. So it is less stable due to external disturbances. I mean, winds are always there coming through and they will disturb the flight of this. And also, since it runs on battery, we don't have any combustible engines that will make it heavier to use. We are using batteries so that it can be light enough to withstand its own weight. So that is why it has less flight duration, because there is a battery thing in there. If any motor fails, yes, this is every structure that we build has a point of failures, right? Everything that we build has sometime it will go off, like this projector if the bulb inside bursts up or something else happens. So if any motor fails, for this quadcopter it will be difficult to, for other motors to compensate this one. I mean, it will dipping down, and these are in straight lines, right? So it will not be able to counter this failure, these two or any other blades. It will fall down. Oh man, things all over the place. So there are some purposes. Yes?
Sir, can we use the solar panels?
Solar panels are very slow. Okay, and they are like what? They use germanium or something with 0.3 voltage, right? Yeah? So if I use solar panels, it will not be able to generate that amount of power in that amount of in the required amount of time. You need power in real time, right? If it's charging slow and draining faster, since we'll keep the questions at the end, okay?
Increase the flight time. Let's say without solar panel and using battery, let's say it has flying capacity, let's say 45 minutes. Okay. But using solar panel and battery, it may go to beyond 1 hour. That will enhance. But you cannot replace solar panel in place of battery. But if you slap the solar panel with battery, then it will increase the efficiency.
That won't be enough, that is not, not the worth the money to be put in. The solar panels are expensive, to say at the least, right? Okay, we will keep the questions at the end, okay? More questions are coming at the end. We want this to be interactive, but not right now maybe. Maybe a feedback from you that you all have understood, that will do it for now. Okay, so we have made it to serve some purposes, right? So what purposes are? These are put in here. So there are some features and some purposes that we put. So stabilization, we have made this thing to be stable. Mother Nature can always push it, but it has it has the abilities to take care of that. Okay, like feedback mechanism. When you when you slip, you do something to protect yourself from falling down, right? That is a reflex. Reflex. That is the thing. We have put reflex in it so that it can hold its position. Oh. Altitude hold. What does it mean? I mean, see, when I set this thing to altitude hold, it will keep at the same level all the time. You can move it in X and Y, but not in the Z direction. I mean, coordinates are all relative, right? When you can take X and Z, then it is Y. Yes? So,
that means it will maintain some level. It will maintain some level from ground. Okay, but it will hover from X and Y. It will maintain some vertical distance from ground. Like this level it will fly. But it will fly like this, like this, like this, like that. Right? That is altitude hold. But let's say if you want to keep this aircraft in a position, certain position, I want to keep it here. If I disturb here, again it will come to this position. If I can disturb here, it will again come to this position. That means it will maintain its own latitude and longitude. That is the feature like GPS hold. Position hold, right? And you can show some videos to them.
Yes. After this I will show. Return home. Return home is if the remote that we use to fly it loses its connection with the receiver that is in there. So what will the quadcopter do in that case? We set a home lock. Okay, and when the connection breaks down, it can come back as always. Or on our preference as we feel, because it can always be programmed inside that quadcopter. Also, we also have waypoint navigation. What does that mean now? Waypoint navigation. You know, delivery guys, pizza, they deliver, yes? They always have multiple pizzas to be delivered to multiple places, right? They form something of a strategy to come across all the points and come back, right? We can program that thing into the quadcopter too. We can always put in GPS coordinates in the quadcopter and then it will fly over those places and then come back. So these are the features that we have put in this quadcopter. I will accompany this with certain videos. Let's do it. So, altitude hold. Yeah, you get to see this in action too.
It is maintaining some vertical distance, but it will hover X and Y.
So you can see that it is maintaining a constant level, right?
From
ground and it is over it. Get that?
Again, I will change the altitude from certain level to another level, and it will maintain also that level. See, at the sake of testing, okay, we have changed from one altitude to other altitude. Okay, also it is maintaining that Z axis, and it will hover at that point.
Okay. On to the next video, we have a GPS hold. This will be interesting, I guess. See what the guy does. See, this is a position lock. Okay, it will not leave its position. So he pulls it and see it goes back. See, nor X, nor Y, no Z. It will just hold it down. Yeah, sometimes that happens. That is what we call experimentation, right?
Vision.
Vision?
That is weapon navigation, no?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
We have set it from one corner of the ground to other corner. It will come across all the points. It has to. It's fully automated. Okay. Once you have locked, it is fully automated. It is collecting all these geographic points, that means altitude, longitude, okay, and it has to maintain that distance. And after that, it will return home. Can show them the spine capability, the small drone video. This is the return home.
Yes, return.
You can see the return home.
Now see, after some point that remote will be turned off and then see what will happen. Okay, it's flying it right now. But after some time, we turn off the remote and keep it on. Okay, the remote is turned off, as you can see. And now
Remote
it
is
is
turned off. It move and it has to return back that point wherever it has to.
comes back. Another example is just right coming.
Small drone. Small drone. That is flying capability.
Small drone, okay. Huh?
This is not Awash. Okay.
See, that is what I'm trying to say here, right? We see the best and then we take our first step, right? That is how it works. Our learning curve.
This is the smallest drone in the world.
Very small. Well, it can inspect things in places you won't want to inspect. And it's back to its home. Okay. So, was I able to explain all of these 4 things? Did everyone get that? What it can do? Anyone? Not? Getting it? Maybe? Landing part. Softballs always land softly.
Sir, no, but while returning home,
No. Did you understand? Did you understand? Questions for later. I'll finish this up. Just before, tell me if you don't understand it, okay? So, what have we used to make this thing? What are the Lego pieces? Huh? Tell me. Of course, you need a frame where everything is supported on. Yes? This is a frame. Plate which can support the battery, then everything that is in here. Then rotors. Rotors are very important, right? Without rotors, how it will have the lift. These are the rotors. I call it the servo rotor, right?
But those are
Servo
brushless motor.
brushless motors. Now we have again propeller. These things that helps cut the air and push it down so that it can get lift according to Newton's third law. Yes? Huh? Brushless means they use commutators, right?
Like your grinders, you have seen grinders in your home, right? So those are two carbon buses there, okay, which will cut the electric frost. It will touch the commutator. But in this, it will do it. You can go for it, but it will make a noise like grinders. You are listening a groaning sound, grounder, and also it will decrease the speed because of the what? Yes, the friction. So that's why here that is brushless. There is no carbon brush in that motor. This is simple laws of motion for which they are rotating. That is the benefit of this motor.
We have batteries. Yes, batteries. How it looks like? Needs energy. This is IMU sensor. This is important. You have all digital cameras and stuff, right? Okay. So when your hand shakes, the photo still doesn't blur. Why? You all have cameras, phones, and whatnot. Yes. So even if your hand shakes a little, yes, you don't. I mean, there is no blur in the image. It should be, right? So why doesn't it happen? Because your camera has this thing, IMU sensor, which consists of accelerometer, gyroscope and stuff, which will act according to the feedback that it gets from the external environment, right? It will act against that thing. You know, equilibrium you all studied, right? So you know, whatever happens is to make things non-reactive, right? Like audio, noise cancelling earphones, they put destructive sound to cut off the external sound that is coming into our ears. Same thing is happening over here, but what we are trying to cut off is the motion. The blades motion will alter with respect to the external forces that is exerted upon it, so that it can have a stable motion. Do you understand that? Everyone? Loud yes? Yes. And you know, there is a receiver and transmitter to send and receive signals so that it can act according to our instructions. Yes? Simple. See how simple it was? Very simple, right? Now you believe you can make one? And why you don't believe me, I will answer that now, because the question answers session starts now. Come on. Why don't you believe that you can make this? Other than you don't want to make it. Yeah, somebody tell me the reason why you don't want to make it or why you can't make it. Come on, yes, please. And speak up. Everyone wants to listen. We can have the... Take this. I want everyone to listen. Yes. Have this.
What means the horizontal motion?
I did explain that, right? Yaw motion, roll motion and pitch motion. Did you see that?
That's where the quadcopter was tilted.
See, yaw motion rotating around its own axis. Did you get that? Pitch motion was for front and back motion. Did you get that?
But that was when it was tilted.
It will be tilted always. To move it has to tilt. That is the physics of the motion. That is fine? It can move in any direction you want to. Next, who we have now? Yes, an interested girl. Please don't be embarrassed.
So up to what height the quadcopter can go?
Well, the numbers are the Sir's fortitude. Let me give it to Sir for Sir to answer. Sir, the girl wants to know what altitude it can hold at the max.
At the max, it can be go up to lower orbit.
Lower orbit, where all the weather balloons are there. Weather balloons, you know, Yes. Okay, who wants to bombard me with questions? Yes. First and wrong. You should be persistent. You need to wait. Because you are not firm enough. You need to hold your hand like this. Yes.